Hello everyone, this is chapter 11, the objective-oriented approach part 2. Objectives: A. Perform the Python inheritance and working with files. B. Apply the concept of Python generators, closures, and processing of files. Lesson 1. Fundamentals: Inheritance. Inheritance, why and how. Before we start talking about inheritance, we want to present a new handy mechanism utilized by Python classes and objectives. It's the way in which the object is able to introduce itself. Let's start with an example. Look at the code in the editor. The program prints out just one line of text, which in our case is this. If you run the same code on your computer, you'll see something very similar. Although the hexadecimal number, the substring starting with 0x, will be different, as it's just an internal object identifier used by Python, and it's unlikely that it would appear the same when the same code is run in a different environment. As you can see, the printout here isn't really useful, and something more specific or just prettier may be more preferable. Fortunately, Python offers just such a function. When Python needs any class or object to be presented as a string, putting an object as an argument in the print function invocation fits this condition. It tries to invoke a method from the object and to use the string it's returned. Method returns the previous string, ugly and very not informative. You can change it just by defining your own method of the name. We've just done it. Look at the code in the editor. Method makes a string consistent of the star and galaxy's name. Nothing special, but the print results look better now, doesn't it? Can you guess the output? Run the code to check if you were right. Okay, let's move from the lesson 2. Generators and closures. Generators, where to find them? Generator, what do you associate this word with? Perhaps it refers to some electronic device, or perhaps it refers to heavy and serious machine designed to produce power, electrical or other. A Python generator is a piece of specialized code able to produce a series of values and to control the iteration process. This is why generators are very often called iterators, and although some many find a very subtle distinction between these two, well, treat them as one. Okay, let's move from the last part. Lesson 3. Processing files. Accessing file from Python code. One of the most common issues in the developer's job is to process data stored in files. While the files are usually physically stored using storage device, hard, optical, network, or solid-state disk, it's easy to imagine a program that sorts 20 numbers, and it's equally easy to imagine the user of this program entering these 20 numbers directly from the keyboard. It's much harder to imagine the same task when there are 20,000 numbers to be sorted and there isn't a single user who is able to enter these numbers without making a mistake. It's much easier to imagine that these numbers are sorted in the disk file, which is read by the program. The program sorts the numbers and doesn't send them to the screen, but instead creates a new file and saves the sorted sequence of numbers there. If we want to implement a simple database, the only way to store the information between the program runs is to save it into a file or files if your database are more complex. In principle, any non-simple programming problem relies on the use of files, whether it processes image stored in files, multiplies matrices stored in files, or calculates wage and taxes reading data stored in files. You may ask why we have waited until now to show you these issues.